What's going on, my Jets family? I want to thank you guys, like always, for tuning in to the Take Flight Spit and Fire podcast. I appreciate you guys tuning in. You got me, Harrison Glazer, excited to be here with you guys, ready to talk to you guys about them Jets. So, see some of you guys are here already. Appreciate you, my man, Michael. Michael saying, "What's up, Harrison? Day closer to free agency." Yeah, my man. Let me just throw this down for a second. Yeah, man. Free agency's approaching. We're getting there. The day's approaching. It's going to be exciting to see what the Jets do. I can't wait. I can't wait. But to pop right in, we did have the combine this last weekend. So before we start, if you guys can please subscribe to the channel, you can do so by clicking on the logo in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. That'd be much, much appreciated. So some news I want to talk to you guys about the combine, some prospects. I've mentioned to you guys in the past a couple of guys that I really like, even some sleepers of mine that I wanted to bring up to you guys. So a few guys here that I wanted to mention. I typed a little bit of them in the notes. I'll be honest, unfortunately, I didn't get to type all of them. I started to, but had some stuff going on quick I had to deal here with. But as you guys saw in the NFL Combine, we saw a tight end, Trey Mcbride, doing his drills, and he had a pretty amazing catch. That dude had a pretty amazing catch, but to be fair, we knew what this dude could do already. I mean, 90 receptions, 1,121 yards, led all of college football last year as a tight end, one of the best receivers, period, in college football. You guys know I've talked about him a lot. A lot of Jet fans have liked this guy a while. So made this amazing catch, but we've seen him do a lot of this already. But a guy that isn't talked about enough that needs a little bit of credit is tight end Jelani Woods. And he definitely helped improve his draft stock, excuse me, at the combine this weekend. So tight end Jelani Woods, as you can see right here, led all of all of the combine tight ends with 24 bench reps, and he ran a 4.6 140. Now you got to keep in mind the dude's 6'7", 275 pounds. That's a really legit 40 for a dude that big. I mean, this dude's bigger than like Aiden Hutchinson, for example. This dude's bigger than him, and he ran a 4.6 140. So again, Jelani Woods, tight end. I like this kid already coming out of I want to say Virginia, I believe. He's out of UVA. Big fan of this kid. Watched him in college. But 24 bench reps, strong kid. He's an excellent blocker because, to be honest, he's as big, if not bigger, than some of the defensive ends he's going to be blocking. But at 6'7", 275, runs a 4.6 140. That's the fastest 40 from any tight end over 6'7" since 2003. And in 2021, he put up pretty legit numbers. 598 yards, but an even more impressive 13.6 average per catch and 8 touchdowns. So there's some potential there. That's a guy to definitely keep your eye on in the draft for a tight end. Another guy that I really like, who also had a good combine performance, is the slot guy. And that slot guy is wide receiver Calvin Austin III. So wide receiver Calvin Austin III, who I don't know why I'm blanking at the moment, Memphis. Took me a second there. Calvin Austin III at Memphis has just been ridiculous. And when I say ridiculous, I mean he's like a one-man show. Over the last 2 years, and keep in mind, just 2 years, he's had 137 receptions, 2,202 yards, but more impressively, 19 touchdowns. Like 19 touchdowns, that's basically 10 a year, just away from 10 a year. I've liked this kid a lot, but what he does at the combine, I knew he was fast. You watch this kid, he's always been lights out. He's always been quick. He runs a 4.3 240, which is damn impressive, though. Damn impressive, very quick. However, what was more impressive to me was watching a 5'7" dude jump a 39-inch vertical and then jump an 11'3" broad jump. That's some impressive stuff. So this is a very, very athletic guy who I've always been a fan of. Again, is very fast, 4.3 240. But we look at the numbers he's put up, they're pretty legit. So this is a kid I've liked. I'll be honest. I feel like he helped his draft stock a lot. This is a guy I thought, could have been like maybe for a while he was talked about as like a third round, maybe second round guy. I'm going to be bringing it up to you guys at 35, 38 if we don't go wide receiver in today's mock. Man, if we re-sign Braxton Berrios and then draft Calvin Austin III. Because again, Corey Davis is, if healthy, slept on as an outside guy, and you got Elijah Moore. I think that's a pretty sexy combination right there. And you could definitely take another wide receiver as well. But he's a kid not to be slept on. I do really like him in the slot. I feel like he has a ton of potential. Again, he's been ridiculous the last 2 years in college football. He's almost a one-man show over there. Unbelievable speed, but more impressive, he showed that he's an athletic guy. He can jump and he can get up for 5'7". So he's a guy to keep your eye on. Do apologize. I had some stuff going on here quick. I wasn't able, excuse me, to type all this out. But you guys remember for the longest time, I've been telling you how much I love Chris Olave. Everyone tells me I'm crazy. I guess it will remain to be seen. But I still feel, and you've heard it here from me pretty much every week, that I've said for like a year now that I think Chris Olave is the better of the two wide receivers between him and Garrett Wilson. People think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, man, Chris Olave is the best route runner in this draft. In fact, he's better than, I would say, arguably a lot of NFL guys at running routes already. He has unbelievable potential. Great hands. People say he's a body catcher. I don't believe that. Again, I feel like it's just been, the way situations have gone, Garrett Wilson has been more of, that guy to make those kind of plays. But Olave has as well. I don't hate Garrett Wilson. Don't get me wrong. I do like Garrett Wilson, just like a lot of people do, but I've said it here and I've said it for a while. I think Chris Olave is the better of the two receivers. Chris Olave is my favorite wide receiver in this draft. And Chris Olave ran a 4.26 40. Man, this dude, he jets. Garrett Wilson's wasn't bad. I think it was I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think it was like a 4.4 something, or not 100%, but man, Olave can burn. This dude burns. And again, the best route runner in this draft. My favorite wide receiver. So, some other guys to bring up to you guys. You guys remember I brought up George Pickens in the past. I felt like he has a lot of potential. Well, for the size he is, he runs a 4.4 40. And a 4.4 40 for a 6'3", 200-pound receiver is awesome. That's really good. I like that. And again, he's been a guy who I said is developing. I feel like every year he's trended up and looked like a guy that could be a potential solid outside wide receiver. So he's been a sleeper of mine. You guys remember I mentioned he checks every one of my boxes: physical ability, height, weight, hand, just everything. Fast too. Dude is faster. I didn't think, if you remember, I'd said I feel like he wasn't the fastest. I was expecting more of a 4.5 something, I'll be honest. So this dude can burn. This dude can burn. He's a guy to definitely keep your eyes on. A couple of other guys to bring up. There was a decent amount of combine news. Akeem Ekwonu was interviewed with the New York Jets and said he felt like New York would definitely be a good environment for him. He thinks he'd fit right in. Gotta love that, man. You guys know I've said best player in the draft. People hadn't, you remember I was saying everyone had Neal at number 1. Well, I had Ekwonu as my best overall offensive lineman. So I said Ekwonu could be number 1. And lo and behold, he's been the one on like a lot of people's draft boards now. So this dude could be 1 overall. If he's there at 4, I'm sprinting up to the podium. I'm knocking tables over to get there to get this kid. He may not be there at 4. That's the reality we have to accept. I think he's the best overall player in this entire draft. And an example of that, he says, if you ask anybody back at NC State, they're going to tell you how much fun I have on the field. I love this game so much. I love being able to impose my will on defenders. I have a lot of fun dominating people. And that is exactly what this dude does. You guys know we've talked about him, plays every position but center. And you know what? Hell, he's so good. I bet he could play center if he had to. I mean, he's a left guard, left tackle, left guard, right tackle. Probably could play center if he had to. This dude's legit. He's a mauler, excellent footwork, excellent hand technique, great speed, great strength, just everything. Literally everything you would want in a ready-to-go NFL offensive lineman. So a few guys also wanted to bring up with you guys. Sauce Gardner has in interviews. I know a lot of Jet fans are loving the Sauce, and I get it. I mean, a lot of people have comped Sauce Gardner to Antonio Cromartie, and that's not a bad comp. It's not, because Sauce has got the height, he's got the size, he's got the length, but he's also got pretty decent speed. I don't think he's as fast as Antonio Cromartie, but he's got some decent speed. And what I liked about it, when they interviewed Sauce said he loved being left on an island. He said he could play man or zone, but he loves playing press man for sure. Man, and Sauce did also interview with the Jets. Sauce did meet with the Jets the other day, but what I loved about it was after he said he met with the Jets, he said, any opportunity is a great opportunity. It's going to be a blessing to be able to go to whatever team chooses me. That tells me, man, this kid's got a great head on his shoulders. He's got a great attitude. He looks at things the right way. He's blessed to be in this situation, and he's happy to go to whoever drafts him. That's what you want to hear. That's checking every box. And I also put out a video of Sauce Gardner. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Like, the dude's like 7 years old. He picks the ball off and he gives it to his buddy to run it back. Like, the character on this kid is just ridiculous. So you guys know how I feel. I feel like Bryce Hall is slept on. I think there's a lot of disrespect going on talking about getting a CB1, and that disrespect is directed toward Bryce Hall. I mean, I love Bryce Hall. You guys have seen the numbers I put up on him. I think he has proven to be a legit CB1, and his numbers show that he should be a top corner in the league next year, and I stand by that. But I get it. Jet fans look at, the years we had, Revis and Cromartie. Man, those were just amazing years. Those were just amazing years. So I get it. I get wanting Sauce Gardner. I get it. I definitely get it. I wouldn't hate the pick whatsoever. Man, a little bit of Sauce next to some Bryce Hall. Reignite the Dower Revis, Antonio Cromartie glory days. That is what we're freaking talking about here. So that is exciting stuff, man. I know there's probably no chance we get Nakobe Dean, not taking him at 10, and he's going to be gone well before we pick next. But I put some videos up. This kid's just a freak athlete. Nakobe Dean is just a legitimate freak athlete. See, he's someone to keep his eye on. So Aiden Hutchinson and Kayvon Thibodeau ran their 40s. They weren't bad. They were okay. A lot of people say they're good. I would say the 40 time is okay. It's not good. It's not great. It's not bad, but the 10 time split is what matters. And as any NFL person would tell you, if your defensive lineman's running more than 10 yards, you have other problems to deal with altogether. You have other problems you have to handle right off the bat. So the 10-yard split's what matters. So Aiden Hutchinson's 10-yard split was a 1.62, and Kayvon Thibodeau's was a 1.61. Now for some reference, TJ Watt, 1.61. Nick Bosa, 1.6. Von Miller, 1.62. So Aiden Hutchinson and Kayvon Thibodeau have a 10 split time up there with everybody, up there with the top elite best edge rushers in the NFL. So that is some really interesting stuff. Again, some of the 40s, they weren't bad. They weren't bad, but the 10-yard split is where it was at. So one more guy I wanted to bring up with you guys, and that's someone I brought up. If you remember, in last week's mock draft, I only brought him up briefly. And I'd said that, UTSA's Tariq Woolen was rated to be a potential higher second-round pick. I mentioned that I liked him a lot. I didn't go too much into him, but I really like this kid a lot. And man, did he help his draft stock on, I think it was Sunday when the DBs were running. So Tariq Woolen has been one of my sleeper CBs. What's interesting about him is he's a wide receiver that transitioned to cornerback. He played his first 2 years as a wide receiver, and then in 2020 he switched to a redshirt junior cornerback. And over these last 2 years, he has 9 PDs, and he looks to have a ton of potential, and he's big. He's 6'4", 205 pounds. So here's something, I don't know if anyone else has mentioned this. What I really like about Tariq Woolen is he's the kind of guy that you draft him. Again, he's just coming into his own as a defensive back. He looks like a potential even free safety to me, like that Ed Reed guy back there. Because again, this guy has great hands, like absolutely excellent hands. But sorry, I'm just looking at some of your guys' comments. I appreciate you guys. Going to bring them up. Appreciate you guys out there. But man, Tariq Woolen has very excellent hands for a corner, being a former wide receiver. Now, he said he's looked good over the past 2 years. He's definitely developing. But the kid's 6'4", 205 pounds. He ran a 4.3 40. He ran a 4.340 at that size. And then, I'm sorry, I actually take it back. The official time was 4.26. That was his official time. That 4.26 is tied for the fourth fastest of anyone at the combine since 2003, and the fastest of any player 6 feet or taller, as well as any player over 200 pounds. So again, very raw. Very raw, but man, you watch this kid. I put it up, him going through the gauntlet. Man, he looks like a wide receiver. He looks like a wide receiver going through the gauntlet, and he's looked like a legit CB these last 2 years. So he's a guy to definitely keep your eye on. So, as a potential later round guy. So I see your guys' comment. I appreciate all you guys. Appreciate you. We got Jeremy up there. Jeremy, call me Fatukasi. I'll take it. I love Foley. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep Foley. It breaks my heart. I mean, we just paid JFM. We're going to pay Quinnen. I mean, we just gave Quinnen his 5th-year option. We're keeping Quinnen around. Like, Quinnen is the guy. So we're keeping Quinnen. We just paid JFM. I don't think we can pay Foley, but man, you guys know I love that kid. He is a very young, underrated, especially underrated run stuffer, defensive interior lineman in the NFL. I really like him. I don't want to see him go. Maybe he doesn't want a lot of money. Maybe he's willing to stay with the Jets for not a lot of money. I say cut Sheldon Rankins. Cut Sheldon Rankins, save that money. See if Foley will take a decent amount. But he could be looking for a payday. I mean, Foley Fatukasi, legit at 24 years old, was putting up 80 overall PFFs, and he wasn't even starting. So, again, I'd love to see us keep him around, but just don't know. Just don't know. We got Jets Gang, JETS. Love you, my brother. Appreciate you. Vern's here. Hey, Harrison. Glad to finally be to be here living again. To be here live again. Living again. That's so funny. Living again. Glad to finally be here live. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. So Jets Gang points of Hamilton's combine performance. I know a lot of people didn't love it because the numbers weren't great. The numbers weren't great. I mean, I guess people wanted to see him flash. He ran a 4.59 40, which is not that good. He jumped to 38 vertical, but again, we just pointed out that Calvin Austin III at 5'7" jumped a higher vertical than that. Calvin Austin II at 5'7" jumped to 39-inch vertical. Kyle Hamilton jumped to 38. Kyle Hamilton also jumped a 10-foot, 11-inch broad jump. Calvin Austin III also jumped more than that. So again, I think this kid is slept on, and I'm going to mention it while we're drafting. I'd love to bring him on. Again, guys, Elijah Moore, think he can be a wide receiver 1. Corey Davis is definitely a wide receiver 2. You got Calvin Austin III and Braxton Hall in the slot there. We're giving, and we got a tight end now, hopefully. Maybe a Jelani Woods, maybe a Trey McBride. Ooh, we're cooking now, baby. Ooh, we're giving Zach Wilson some options, and options is what I want. You guys know that's the name of the game. Vern haven't watched safeties yet. No spoilers. Matthias, here we are. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. Jared points out, shout out to you, Jared, appreciate you, says Woods was the star of the tight end class at the combine. Without a doubt, man, without a doubt. I mean, this dude is 6'7", 275 pounds. Again, can't stress he's bigger than guys like Aiden Hutchinson and faster than them. Ran a 4.6 140. This dude can absolutely burn. And we pointed out he put up good numbers in his in 2021 last year. He's damn good blocker, but that speed is pretty legit. Man, I like him. I like that kid a lot. Maybe, again, I've mentioned it. We've seen guys like, I think it was Michael Nanya, shout out to him on Twitter, pointing out that, guys like, I don't know, I'm having a brain fart right now. Schultz, that Schultz wasn't exactly, everything he was cracked up to be. I've mentioned to you guys, I don't know if Joe pays big money to a tight end, especially a tight end who has one really solid year of production. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe the Jets draft Trey McBride and draft someone like Jelani Woods. That could be very interesting to see. That could be an exciting turnaround. Man, you draft, let's just say, Calvin Austin III, Jelani Woods, Trey McBride. You didn't have to use a pick higher than 35 or so. And man, that's some sexy stuff. That's some sexy stuff right there. So I appreciate you guys. Appreciate all you guys and your comments. Jets Gang point out he's starting to like Walker. He's been a guy I like. Honestly, I've said I have Walker and Ajabo kind of tied. I've mentioned that before. I know I mentioned it here. But, I've said for a while, Jermaine Johnson, you guys remember I was saying Jermaine Johnson was, my top guy behind Hutchinson and Thibodeau for a while now. I was saying how much I love Jermaine Johnson, and people had him in the 30s for a little while. I saw him ranked. Now his ass is jumping into the 10s. I'm seeing Jermaine Johnson in the 10s and the 7s. So yeah, Jermaine Johnson is a slept-on edge rusher. Walker and Ajabo are the guys I have next, and then I have Karlaftis following in the rear. Behind those two guys, man, he's slept on. Walker is definitely a slept-on guy, but I would prefer Hutchinson, Thibodeau, or even Jermaine Johnson before him. Vern points out wide receivers have depth, no need to go first round. I mean, I get what the board, no need to go 10. That's the thing. We have the 10th overall pick, unless, it depends. I guess, depending who's gone, but I would think the Jets might go wide receiver kind of like the way they did Elijah Moore. Maybe go wide receiver, like I was saying, at 35, wide receiver 38. And again, that's a place to get Calvin Austin III and Trey McBride. Maybe Jelani Woods is there at 69. That's a little bit of a crap shot. I mean, he helped his draft stock a lot. Originally, people had him as a third-round pick, but what he did at the combine was damn impressive. And that was some damn impressive stuff at the combine. So I'm not exactly sure. Appreciate you, Brandon. Says, looks like all the boys are here. Appreciate you, my guys. Appreciate all my Jets fam. Appreciate you guys being here. So Matthias points out, yeah, I thought it was around that. Like, I wasn't sure, like a 4.4. Garrett Wilson, 4.38, which isn't bad. Isn't bad at all. But let's not forget, he's not that much bigger than Chris Olave. I think he's only like an inch taller, 2 pounds heavier. He's not that much bigger, give or take. Like, I'm actually going to look it up right now to give you guys. Yeah, Garrett Wilson's 6 foot 192. I think Olave is, okay, 6'1", 187. So Olave's taller, but a little lighter, but not by much. I mean, 187 and 192, that's freaking negligible. That's freaking negligible. They're basically the same size. So again, I do feel Olave is slept on. He is by far the best route runner in this entire draft. And that is an underappreciated skill when you get to the NFL. We've seen a lot of players like Cooper Kupps be excellent wide receivers, but not be burners, just be excellent technicians and route runners. That's what does it. So, man, I'm a big Chris Olave guy. Always have been, always will be, and we're going to see what happens. Matthias points out he breaks it up in 2 tweets. He's got Gardner is the man. I love it. Man, a lot of people love the sauce. A lot of people love the sauce, and I get it. Again, I feel like Bryce Hall slept on as a CB1, but we go back to those Darrelle Revis, Antonio Cromartie days. I get it. I get it. I get why people want it. He's got unbelievable potential. Excellent speed, excellent size, great hands. I ain't complaining. So appreciate all you guys. See you guys in the comments. Appreciate all you. But I think it's time we jump into this mock. So let's jump in. Let's get some mocking going on here. Now, if you guys remember, last time's mock was a little crazy. Last time's mock got a little cuckoo. So, I mean, I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. I mean, the picks, if you guys remember, were like, oh my God, it was like dream scenario. It was like the greatest thing you could imagine. But I don't think it's going to happen this time. Remember last time Andrew Booth Jr., the corner, went like 2, I believe. I mean, if he goes before Sauce, someone's killing the Lions GM. And if you guys remember, I think Karlaftis went 3rd to the Texans. Man, both those GMs would be dead. You'd see both of them lying on the floor, just done. Interim GM immediately. So let's see. Hopefully we get, a little more realism this time around. Let's start this mock. Let's get going. Hope you guys are ready. I'm excited. Let's get mocking. So, of course, we're going to pick Jets. Of course, we got 7 rounds. Let's go. What? Didn't like me? Wants me to do it again? Jets, 7 rounds. Let's draft. Here we go. Didn't like me the first time. Wants to do it a second. Okay. Karlaftis goes 3 again. Man, PFN is really messing with me. Karlaftis goes 3. What's going? I'll ask you guys. You guys want to switch mockers? Do you guys want to use a different mock or maybe start over? Because Karlaftis at 3, man, the Texans GM is dead. Texans GM, brains on the floor. Someone took him out. Man, that's crazy. Karlaftis at 3. Even Jeremy's like, wait a minute. Something's wrong here. Something's not right here. Yeah, there's no way. You guys remember I was saying, Hutchinson is by far my number 1 as an edge rusher. What do you call it? DeBow is my number 2. Jermaine Johnson's my number 3. Then I got, Ojabo and Walker kind of tied at 4-5. Then Karlaftis' ass has fallen in the rear. You guys remember I pointed out months ago when everyone was high on him, I'm like, I don't get it. Like, he was considered a top 10. Some even said top 5. And I'm like, am I missing something? Like, I don't see what I need. I'm like, maybe if he had more burst or he was faster off the line or he was strong. Something. I just didn't see it. So a couple of you guys saying, Matthias says, yeah, let's try a different one. Let's do this. Let's just restart it over. Let's see if this craziness happens again. Let's do a restart and see if the freaking Texans take George Karlaftis again. Because that's just crazy town. So let's try this one more time. Okay, so this is now more realistic. This is now more realistic in my opinion. So Evan Neal went first, and you guys and I have said it. I still feel that even though Neal came in so much lighter than people thought, people saying he's leaner, he's not as big as he was, I still got Akeem Ekwonu as my number 1 guy. Man, Akeem Ekwonu is freaking special. Like, absolutely special. Like, I'm kind of tempted to go generational offensive lineman special. I kind of am, because I watched this kid, his ability to just do everything, just do everything perfectly before he even gets to the NFL level. I kind of want to go as far to say generational offensive lineman. So we have 3 offers here at pick 4. 12's a big jump. 12's a big jump. I personally, 4 is a great pick. We got Hutchinson on the board right now, and we still got Ekwonu on the board right now. 9 is still too far for me. I still feel like, again, too many good picks here. I personally don't want to trade it. Falcons are offering 8. I don't know about you guys. I personally don't want to trade it. Hutchinson's obviously on the board, but so is Ekwonu. I'd go one of those guys. I mean, I get people wanting to obviously just pull the trigger on Hutchinson. I don't know. I've been kind of leaning Ekwonu lately. I'm not going to lie. I've been kind of going the Ekwonu train because, man, I'm telling you, this kid, I don't care who else says it, he is the best player in this draft. He is the best player, period, in this draft. The fact that he's there, it doesn't go top 3, I think is crazy, personally. But so Tom says take Hutch. David says take the Falcons trade. If we look at the Falcons trade for a second, we go back to that one here. I mean, you do get 43. That's the thing. And you do get 113. So that's the thing. You are getting 113 and you're getting 43. But at 8, you're probably missing out on Hutchinson and you're probably missing out on Ekwonu. So as you guys know, remember, I always say, what you guys are thinking. I personally wouldn't do this just because of the talent level. The talent at this pick right now is just too good for me to take anything, honestly. I feel like unless someone offers me like it's Godfather here, like an offer you can't refuse. Like someone offers me 2 years of first, then it's like, okay, shit, I got to take it. But even though the Falcons trade is a good trade, I got to go Hutchinson or Akeem here. I don't know what you guys think. That's my personal opinion. So, yeah, Falcons points out same thing. Has to give up the first 2. Again, there's just the talent on this board. I just love it. I've said it for a while now. It's just it's unbelievable. The talent level at the top of this draft class. It might be one of the most talented drafts ever. I mean, you got Evan Neal, you got Ekwonu, you got Hutchinson, Thibodeau, you got Kyle Hamilton, you got Sauce, you got Nakobe Dean up there, you got Garrett Wilson, Olave. This is a ridiculous draft class. Like, this is an absolutely ridiculous draft class. So I just feel like the value at 4, I just can't trade down. I just can't do it. So a lot of you guys saying Hutchinson. I see Braden saying it's hutch. It's a no-brainer. Jets gang saying it's hutch. Let's do it. Nice and easy. Let's pull the trigger. I've said it. This is the best edge rusher in this draft. My comp, if you guys remember, my comp is a very raw TJ Watt, Nick Bosa type, a very athletic end that is also extremely powerful and very physical and very strong. And guess what you guys remember? He said Carl Lawson's just like that too. So man, Carl Lawson and Aiden Hutchinson together, that's going to be a sexy combination. That is going to be a combination that quarterbacks better look out for because the two of them have very, very good skill sets. So boom, let's pull the trigger. Aiden Hutchinson at 4. I can't believe Andrew Booth just went at 5 before Sauce went. Okay, so we got 3 offers here at 10. We got pick 32 and 33, but here's the thing. Sauce is still on the board, which obviously I know a lot of people want. So I get not wanting to pass on him. So 10 again, I still view this. As I said, this draft has about 15 guys that are unbelievable. 15 guys that are unbelievable. So I don't really want to trade down to 32, even though I know we're also getting 34 as well. They're offering a lot. They're offering a lot in that trade, but same thing with that. That's not bad, but I just don't want to trade down from 10. I just feel like there's too much talent here. So Sauce is still here. We wound up taking Aiden Hutchinson. So you guys know how I feel on Tyler Linderbaum. You know, Mel Kiper had Tyler Linderbaum as the 10th overall pick to the Jets. You guys remember I had my episode a few weeks back. I've been saying it for a long time. Tyler Linderbaum to the Jets at 10 makes total sense. Finally, a lot of other guys are saying it. You guys remember I've been saying it a while. And you remember my argument. There was a lot to it, but he's just an unbelievable offensive lineman. This dude physically dominates and mauls people at the point of attack. And like I pointed out in that episode, if he was a guard instead of a center, people would have him at 6, people would have him at 7, people would have him at 8. So I'm thinking maybe Sauce or Linderbaum here. That's what I'm thinking. I'll leave it up to you guys. So I definitely get it. Jeremy points out, Hutch and Sauce would significantly transform our defense. Again, I've said it, Bryce Hall, I feel like, can be a legit CB1, and he is a legit CB1. In fact, I take that back. Bryce Hall already is a legit CB1, and he looks to be becoming one of the best cornerbacks in the league. He looks like he's slowly becoming one of the better corners in the league. And I still think, you look at the numbers I put out, a lot of numbers other people put out what he did in his sophomore year last year in his full season of play. I think the sky's just the limit for that kid. But, man, I get it. Again, Sauce and Bryce Hall could be that Revis Cromartie. I get that. Man, a Revis Cromartie, man, those were glory days. Those were unbelievably great years when we had Revis next to Cromartie. So I see we got some different people here, different opinions. David says Sauce. Jets Gang says Sauce. Vern asks about Hamilton. Return of the Jetsy Rusty Spooner says Dean and Hutchinson would be the greatest ever. I do like Nakobe Dean. I mean, people say it's too high for the player. Again, if you like the guy, you take him. That's the thing. Teams prove that all the time. If you like a guy a lot and you don't think he's going to be there later, you take him. That's just it. So I wouldn't go Nakobe Dean here. I mean, but I get it. Curious, what is he ranked? They got him ranked low. That's pretty surprising. They got him ranked at 27. That's pretty low. That's a lot lower than I thought. So, again, I don't know what you guys are thinking. So Tom says Bryce Hall is not a CB1. I disagree, man. I mean, I know some people are saying that. I mean, I disagree. Look at the numbers he's put up. Like, I could bring it up right now, but what he's done is totally CB1 worthy. He was the best of any second-year cornerback last year, and he, as you guys remember, was a 5th-round pick. I really like him. I think he could be it, but I get it. I totally get it. I get why people want that, that Darrelle Revis, Antonio Cromartie combination. I get it. So you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it in this draft. Let's take the sauce. Let's do it. Let's make that some special sauce. And man, Ahmad Gardner and Bryce Hall next to each other, that's going to be a sexy combination for years to come. That is going to be an unbelievable. It's like if we'd gotten Revis, never traded him away or got rid of him. Well, not trade him away, but let him go. And we got Cromartie when he was young and had him his whole career. That's what we're talking about here. Having Darrelle Revis and Antonio Cromartie forever. So that's some sexy shit. So we got 2 offers right here. That's a big jump. 35 to 57 is a big jump. That's not bad. That one's not bad. We jump from 35 to 44 and we pick up pick 78. That's not bad. So we're only dropping less than 10 picks. We could see who's on the board here. I mean, Trent McDuffie's good, but obviously we just got the sauce. So curious where they got. Calvin Austin II is really low rated, which is crazy to me. They got Calvin Austin II all the way at 133, which means I don't think that's going to stay the case. I think you're going to be able to get him later on. Earlier up. I think you're going to have to get him possibly at 69, honestly. But maybe even earlier, man. Maybe even earlier with, the 40 he did and the numbers he's had. But, man, he was unbelievable in college. And Trey McBride is still there. So Trey McBride's still there, but we do have 38. So let's keep that in mind. If we trade down from 35, we still have 38. So it's only 3 picks later. Where is it? We trade down so we're only going down 3 picks to 38. We have 44 then too, and we pick up 78. I'll be honest, this isn't a bad trade. I'll be honest, this is a bad trade. Zachary's saying take the Browns offer. I'm kind of leaning that way. I see a bunch of people are saying Zion, take Zion Johnson. Man, we didn't get an offensive lineman yet, so that's true. You guys know I really, really want an offensive lineman. We did not take one yet. We got Aiden and we got the sauce. Man, Isaiah Johnson is special. Isaiah Johnson is a guy hold on, where are we? Zion Johnson. I'm looking at the board and I'm saying the wrong name. Zion Johnson's a guy I really like. And you guys know I talked about him and Alec Lindstrom, remember? Talked about how I like the 2 of them at Boston College. Very big fan of the 2 of them. Hell, if we can get Zion Johnson now and get maybe Alec Lindstrom later in the draft, man, that would be good stuff. That would definitely be some good stuff. So David asks who the Giants took. Let's see. The Giants took Akeem. Okay. The Giants took Austin Booth and Akeem. I don't think Booth would be the first corner off the board. I'd be hell-pressed. I honestly think that's where Sauce goes. I know we got him at 10, but man, if they take Booth before Sauce, I think that's just crazy to me, in my opinion. So we'll have to see. But I'm kind of leaning toward this trade. Again, we already have a pick 3 down from now. So we're getting 44, and we're also getting 78. So Tom says, screw the Browns. Screw the Browns. I mean, it's not a bad trade. It really is not a bad trade. Because again, we already have the 38th pick. And it's not a big jump. We're going in, and we're getting 78. It's good to pick up more picks. You know what? I'm going to be Joe Douglas in this one. I think Joe Douglas likes to trade back. So I'm thinking let's trade back. Let's trade back for this one. Okay. So there's 2 more trades. I don't think we should trade back again. Now, that's too far. 38 to 54 is a little far. We're looking at 16 picks now. So Trey McBride's still on the board. Trey McBride, as we said, we only dropped 3 picks. We traded with the Browns. They really wanted, I guess, an edge rusher, a Bektike, if I'm saying it right. I know I always say his name wrong. But, man, Trey McBride's still on the board. So I think right now would be a good time to take Trey McBride. I don't know about you guys, but I think right now is a really good time to take Trey McBride. Or a Freem is still saying take Zion. Let's see. Zion, is he still on the board? My bad, man. He's still there. He's definitely still there. So that's a good pick. Zion Johnson is an offensive guard I do really like. He could be a starter from day one. He could potentially push out and be our right guard from day one, but he'll definitely be a starter in short notice. Again, I really like both kids from Boston College, Zion Johnson and Alec Lindstrom. So So a couple of you guys say Zion, then McBride. You know what? Let's take Zion, and McBride is ranked 48. Maybe he'll still be there at 44. So let's take Zion. Let's cross our fingers, and maybe Trey McBride's still there at 44. Because remember, we traded back, so we have the 44th pick. So far, so good. So far, so good. So far, so yeah, he's still there. Okay, he's still there. So this one, we're going back 3 picks. I think we're getting cocky now. Trey McBride's still on the board. I think we pull the trigger. So Trey McBride's there. I say we take him. I don't know about you guys. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to draft Trey McBride. What do you guys think? Vern says McDuffie's still there. That's true too, which is a little crazy. It is a little crazy that oh wait. Is he? Oh, I think he might have known. He just went. He went at 39. I was going to say, I didn't see him. But yeah, man, Trent McDuffie at 39, that's pretty low. Trent McDuffie, I mean, he could go somewhere from, I'd say, the low 20s to like around there, give or take. Like, that's his spot, give or take. But yeah, get him now, get McBride. I'm with you, Matthias. Let's do it. Let's pull the trigger. We'll go a little quicker here. Let's take McBride because why not, man? So, man, we just walked away with Trey McBride and walked away with Zion Johnson. So, man, this is a good-looking Jets draft so far. So, I'm with you guys, you know. So Kevin just said he popped in. Man, if you just popped in, you missed some sexy stuff. I got to show you some stuff, Kevin. If you just popped in, we just did some good stuff. So the New York Jets have walked away with Aiden Hutchinson, the best edge rusher in this draft. The sauce. We now have our Darrelle Revis, Antonio Cromartie combination for the next decade, man. We got Sauce and Hall next to each other. And we got Zion Johnson, who is a slept-on offensive guard. And we got Trey McBride. So, man, that was some good stuff. That is some really, really quality drafting right there. And you guys see, by trading back, we were able to pick up 78. So now we have 69 and we have 78. So we can get some really quality players here. I'm excited, man. Let's do this. Let's keep going. This is looking like some really, really good drafts so far. So let's see who we got on this board. So I mentioned before, you know, pairing curious. Wow, they got Jelani Woods really low ranked. Wait, why do they have him as Oklahoma State? Wait a minute. Did they mess up and put Jelani Woods at the wrong school? Is this the same player? Hold on a minute. A little weird. Oh, he transferred. Okay. I was going to say he didn't do much in 2019 and 2020. So I was like, wait a minute. Okay, he transferred. So Jelani Woods is like really low. They have him at 374. So shit, we could probably take Jelani at the end of the draft. So I don't know. It's up to you guys. If you wanted to take another tight end now, I know, you know, so George Pickens is on the board. George Pickens could be an interesting pick. It is a little high for him, honestly. I'll be honest. It is a little high for him. You guys know I'm a really big fan of Calvin Austin. I think 133 Calvin Austin's a little low. I think, though, we should be able to get him at 78 or potentially 110. We could definitely possibly get Calvin Austin there. So if we look at defense, curious who we got at edge rusher. So we got Isaiah Thomas still at Oklahoma. That's interesting. So up to you guys. I'll be honest. There's no one at this pick that really, there's a lot of guys I like, but later. There's a lot of guys I like, but later picks. So like Jake Ferguson, I like. George Pickens, I like. Alec Lindstrom is here. We could do that if you guys are interested. We could pair Alec Lindstrom with Zion Johnson and put that put the Boston College center right next to his Boston College guard. So Matthias asks, who's at linebacker? Let's take a look. So again, no one that I'm like, I like Asamoah, but not at this pick. No one, like I said, at this pick, there's so far no one that I'm like, oh my God. Like, oh my God, how did they slip that far? Tariq Woolen is still on the board. So Tariq Woolen is still on the board. Again, he's listed at 104, but I think this is going to change. Guy like Tariq Woolen's draft stock, they have him at 104. He's probably going to go, I don't know, 60s, maybe 50s, maybe 70s. Calvin Austin the second, probably around the same place, maybe a little higher. Calvin Austin could be a guy that surprises a ton of people and maybe goes in the late 40s, possibly. So Byrne points out Falil. That's a guy I like too. So let's pivot here for a second. Let's look at the offensive tackles. So Daniel Falil is a monster. Daniel Falil is bigger than Mekhi Becton. Now, I know people freak out when they hear that big because, Mekhi Becton had problems with his size, but Falil's never had problems. He's a huge monster. Falil, I think, think the dude's close to like 400 pounds. Like, no joke. But he's decently athletic for his size. I like Falil. I mean, I know a lot of Jet fans see significant, like, huge offensive tackles and they're like scared. After like Mekhi Becton, they're like nervous and they don't want to. I mean, I like Falil. I do like him. So yeah, Tariq Woolen we were talking about before, man. Tariq Woolen ran I think it was a 4.3, I believe. Yeah, I think he ran a 4.3. It was very impressive. It was very, very impressive. So David points out project player and a luxury pick at this point. There's a lot of interesting ways to go. So Kevin points out Christian Watson did light up the combine. Where are we? Hold on a sec. Here we go. So North Dakota State's Christian Watson did light up the combine. That is very true. So you got Christian Watson. He's a big boy. You got George Pickens. I like him a lot. But I really like Calvin Austin III. I'll be honest. I'm a very, very big fan of his. We could double down. If you guys are interested, we could double down in wide receiver. We could take Pickens or Watson right now and then also take Calvin Austin III. Remember, we talked about it in my Super Bowl episode. Too many weapons is not a such thing. There's no such thing anymore. It's about talent for the quarterback. It's about receiving options for your quarterback. It is a passing league through and through. We've known that for a while. We've seen that, but the numbers showed that to us in this last Super Bowl. Both of those teams were excellent passing teams with unbelievable receiving cores. Unbelievable receiving cores. So I would be down right now if you guys want to take Pickens or Watson right now and then take Calvin Austin III later on as well. But up to you guys, up to you. Return. Jetsy Rusty Spooner points out Falele. That's how you say his name. I've always called him Falil. But yeah, man, it's up to you guys. It's up to you guys. Whatever you guys think. I see Steven's here. Appreciate you, my man. What's up, Steven? Appreciate you tuning in. But a lot of different options to go here. A lot of different options. So if I were you guys, I would say maybe Pickens or Watson. Maybe Ferguson or even Ruckert. Ruckert's not a bad pick here. So maybe Ferguson or Ruckert, potentially. We could go Falele, now that I know how to say it. We could go Falele. That's definitely an option. Alec Lindstrom would not be a bad pick here either. We look at defense. Again, none of the linebackers jump out to me. None of the edge rushers really jump out at this pick. Same thing with the safeties. I mean, it's up to you guys. That's the directions I would go in. So Frank asks, who's there at defensive tackle? Man, I think we have too many defensive tackles. I'll be honest. I think that is one position I could not see the Jets drafting at all. I do like Logan Hall from Houston, not going to lie, but I don't see the Jets doing it. I don't see the Jets drafting defensive tackle with, again, you got John Franklin Myers who can play outside or inside potentially. Quinnen is going to be paid at some point. Either Rankins is cut and you're paying Foley, or you still have Rankins. I just can't see the Jets doing that. I would be shocked if they went defensive tackle. So both you guys, so David says Watson, and then Afram says Watson. So let's do it. So let's take Watson. Let's do it. Let's take a big wide receiver. I believe, I'm trying to remember. I think he's 6'5", I believe. Yeah, he's 6'4", big hands. He's a big dude. Christian Watson is a big dude who did quite well in North Dakota State. So let's do it. Let's take Christian Watson. We got a few picks. Let's see who's still on the board when we pick next. So we have one trade offer. We're only moving up one round, and it's next draft going up 2 picks. There's a lot of guys I like here. So George Pickens is still on the board. I mean, we could walk away, just saying, we could walk away with Christian Watson and George Pickens. Again, there's nothing wrong with too many weapons. We talked about that. Nothing wrong with too many weapons for your quarterback. So we did take Trey McBride already, but again, nothing wrong with too many weapons. So George Pickens is an option, or we could go Ferguson or Ruckert. So if you guys are interested, we could go Ferguson. We could go Ruckert, who I like both. Ferguson is the better blocker. Jake Ferguson is the better blocker of the two, but Jeremy Ruckert's a local boy, guys. Jeremy Ruckert played for Lindenhurst, New York. Jeremy Ruckert is a Long Island native. That I like that. I like bringing in Long Island guys. Just like when they brought in it was Elijah last year. I'm blanking on the name 100%. But we brought in a guy who was at Port Jeff. So you got Ferguson, you got Ruckert. I wouldn't mind going Ruckert here. Wouldn't mind going Pickens either. I don't know what you guys are thinking. So Vern says, don't be shocked if we draft a DT. If we want a DT, we re-sign Foley. That's how I look at it. I've said, I mentioned it earlier in the episode. I don't think we should keep Rankins. I think Rankins should be cut. He's due a lot of money next year and not a lot of it guaranteed. I say cut Rankins and pay Foley. And then if you pay Foley, you're planning on paying Q. I can't see us drafting a defensive tackle, especially considering we drafted Jonathan Marshall, and I think he slept on. You guys remember in Jonathan Marshall's first ever game, he had the sack-winning safety. So Jonathan Marshall slept on. I'd re-sign Foley, before I did that. So David points out safety is a need. Joseph, I don't know. I mean, it is a little high here in my opinion. I mean, I like him. Don't get me wrong. I definitely like him. So you got Verone McKinley or Kirby Joseph. That's an option too. So I'll leave it up to you guys. We can either go safety and take McKinley or Joseph. We could take another wide receiver like Pickens. Or we could take Ferguson or Ruckert. What are you guys thinking? Okay. Where? So I think it was, Vern pointed out that he really likes Alec Pierce. That's not a bad option either. That's not a bad option. Again, one of my sleepers is George Pickens. George Pickens is one of my sleepers, guy. I just love his size, his hands. I love what I've seen from the kid. And I feel like he's just raw, but looks like he has a lot of potential. But heck, if you guys want Pierce, we could take him. So up to you guys. You guys are thinking Pierce, we could do Pierce. So Kevin asked if we took a tight end. We did take Trey McBride. So we have Trey McBride already. I'll show you guys right now. We have Trey McBride and we have Christian Watson. So we got our edge, we got our corner, so we're pretty damn good there. We got Zion Johnson, so the offensive line's looking pretty good. We could always go with another later offensive lineman, but we got a tight end and a wide receiver. We could take, again, one of either. So we already got Trey McBride. We already got Christian Watson. But again, you never know who's going to pan out. And like we talked about before, you can never have too many weapons, right? There's no such thing as too many weapons, especially in today's NFL. So Vern points out that Sky Moore is still there. So there's still a good amount of wide receivers available. I agree. There's still a good amount of wide receivers available. So what I'm thinking is let's take, as I see Kevin saying possibly choose Ruckert. He's also asking about Qual Walker. Let's take a look. He is. Okay, so Quay Walker's still there. So Quay Walker is there. We could use a linebacker. Now's the good time to take him. Because remember, I was a little hesitant at 69. I would not mind him now at all. So we could definitely take Walker. But I'm thinking, because again, one of you guys, I think it was Vern, pointed out that wide receiver is pretty deep right now. You got Moore. You got Ross. You got Pickens. You got Pierce. You got Calvin Austin right here. So I'm thinking either Ruckert or Quay Walker. What are you guys thinking? So Frank points out, didn't see Walker still there. Got to take him. That's not a bad pick. Not a bad pick at all. So let's do it. Let's take Quay Walker. So let's pull the trigger, get a linebacker. Now we got a pretty good linebacker there. We got somebody that, could, again, we have Jamie and Sherwood from last year. We have Hamza Nasruddin from last year. CJ Mosley's still there. Quincy Williams is still there, and I think they're slept on. I think our linebacker core is slept on. I do. I think it's a slept on linebacker core, but it can't hurt to add another guy. Can't hurt. Okay, so George Pickens just went off the board. Okay, so we got 2 more to our pick. Here we go. 110. So no trade offers. That's easy. No trade offers. So we look at wide receiver. I know a lot of people like Sky Moore. But man, I'm going to say now's a good place to take Calvin Austin III. I'm going to say again, this kid had 137 receptions, 2,202 yards, and 19 touchdowns in just 2 years. Massively slept on, in my opinion. And we saw what he did at the combine. As a 5'7" wide receiver, he jumped higher and further than Kyle Hamilton did. So I say right now is a great spot for Calvin Austin III. My point, I say right now, let's take Austin. Frank says let's take Austin. I say let's do that. Again, this kid is massively slept on. Again, jumped higher and further than Kyle Hamilton, and the kid's 5'7". That's what sold me the most with him. So Ephraim asks, is Ruckert still there? He is. So Ruckert's still there. After 110, we do have 116. Calvin Austin should still be there. Calvin Austin should still be there at 116. I'll be honest, I'm going to be sad if he's not. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be very sad. I do really like Ruckert, but I do really want Calvin Austin III more because, again, Calvin Austin III, guys, I think he is a massively slept-on player. I think he is going to be a star slot wide receiver in very short notice. So let's do it. Let's take Jeremy Ruckert, and we'll cross our fingers, and we'll hope that Calvin Austin III is there at 116. So far, so good. So far, so good. Okay, he's still there. Okay, so let's do it. Let's not go crazy. Let's take Calvin Austin III. And man, guys, we just walked away with, in the last 5 picks, a sleeper linebacker, 2 tight ends, and 2 wide receivers. This is a sexy draft. I have to say, guys, this right here, this is a very, very nice looking draft so far. I know last week we had an unbelievable one. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I just got the magic touch here. You guys got to come to more to my mocks. Maybe that's the answer. I just got to keep mocking because, man, so far, these are some really, really impressive mocks. So Sky Moore went not too much after Calvin Austin III. I get it. If Sky Moore's the pick, I don't not like him. But, man, Calvin Austin III is massively slept on. Massively, massively slept on. So David points out we haven't taken a safety. Frank says the same thing. Safety next. Let's take a look. Let's go safety at, what is it, 140? Yep, 146. So let's see. I mean, okay, I do like Smokey Monday. I mean, it's a late pick. So I do like Smokey Monday. I also like Harvell Peel. I just said Harvey Peel. I like Harvell Peel. He's another guy I like. I also like Cross. Those are 3 safeties I like. Monday, Harvell Peel, Cross. If you guys like another safety, please chime in. Those are 3 safeties that I do like. If we look at the board overall, okay, Jeffrey Gunter's still there. So it wouldn't hurt to get another edge rusher. I mean, Carl Lawson should be okay, right? We're praying, we're crossing our fingers, we're hoping that Carl Lawson will be okay. But we saw last year what happens. You could be massively decimated at one position. right? Carl Lawson done for the year. Bryce Huff looked good for a while, then he got hurt. We were playing with freaking scrubs and nobodies at edge rusher for a little while. We literally signed up Shaq Lawson, and that didn't really work out, but it was something for a little while. So I don't think Jeffrey Gunter's a bad pick here. You guys remember I talked about him last draft. He's a guy that because of injuries is slept on, but man, when he played, he was unbelievable. When he played, he looked like a potential top pick. So Vernon's saying smoke. I get it. People want a safety. Smokey Monday definitely looks like he's got a lot of potential. So I say either we go between Smokey Monday or Jeffrey Gunter. Because again, guys, I could bring up the numbers, but you guys remember from last episode, we talked about him. Jeffrey Gunter is massively slept on. Massively slept on. Because again, has injury history, but when healthy, was putting up like close to like 10 plus TFLs and 8 sacks a season. The kid is legit. And like I pointed out, let's not forget, he was part of that Coastal team that was killing Zach Wilson back in 2020. You guys remember I was saying that Coastal defense was one of the top defenses all over Zach, in my opinion. Well, Jeffrey Gunter was part of it. So Dave points out, dude, Ashton Davis is your number one safety at the moment. Bro, that's a legit concern. That's a legit concern. I totally get it. Matthias is pointing out smoke. You're right. You're right. So you're right. Ashton Davis, you don't want, fair enough. These are fair points. Let's do it. Let's take Smokey. Let's draft the safety. Smokey Monday with the pick. And now we're what, 165 or 3, I think. Let's see. So Gunter's still on the board. We could potentially take Gunter next, or some of the other safeties I do like too. So we have one trade offer. At this late in the draft, that's not bad. Now, usually trading back 11 picks isn't great, but not this late in the draft. This late in the draft, trading back 11 picks isn't bad, and we're picking up a pick for this year. So I would do this if I were you guys. We're picking up a 208 from this year, so we're getting another pick. So I would take this. I don't know about you guys, but I would take this. Vernon points out, if his name was Smokey Monday, that would be even more epic than Smoke Monday. I don't know why I'm calling them, Smoke Monday, but Smokey Monday, it's Smoke Monday. I guess, again, Smokey Monday just sounds cooler to me. Jeremy points out we're going to sign a safety. Definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. So Dave points trade and then get the tight end Jelani Woods. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm totally down for that. I like that a lot. So let's do it. Let's accept the trade. And again, Jeffrey Gunter is an interesting pick, but we just got Aiden Hutchinson. Hopefully Bryce Huff should be healthy. We could sign another edge rusher in free agency potentially. But yeah, Gunter's off the board. I had a feeling Gunter would be off the board here. So seeing who I like with some of these picks. Zion McCollum did have a very excellent combine. So he's a guy that's definitely going to help his draft stock. So that's one option, Zion McCollum. If you guys want to go safety, I mentioned I do like Harvell Peel. I do like him. So he's an option here. And at 174, he's a good pick. So let's see. We still have 2 more picks. So I think, my opinion, I think we should save 208 for a kicker. But if you guys want to take Harvell Peel here, the safety, then take Jelani Woods with the last pick, I'm down for that. Because remember, these guys have Jelani Woods ranked at like 374, which is like crazy town. So we could potentially take Harvell Peel here, get another safety, and then take Jelani Woods. But up to you guys. So David says take the safety as well. Let's take another safety. So I do like Harvell Peel. I feel like, again, he's raw, has a lot of potential. At 174 is not a bad pick. So let's do it. Let's take him at 174. Now I'm thinking we take Jelani Woods with the next pick. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we take Jelani Woods when we get to 208. But if you guys want a kicker, that's up to you. I really like Jelani Woods. At 208, I think that's insane. That's an insane steal. Again, we talked about the potential and what this kid has done. So remember, at 6'7", 275 pounds, ridiculous, just ridiculous. The fastest 40 of anyone that size since 2003. And he was a legit receiving option last year. Put up close to 600 yards, but more importantly, 13.6 average. So I think we should take Jelani Woods. You know what? I know a lot of people want a kicker. Let's do it. Let's take Jelani Woods. Let's do it. Let's take Jelani Woods. You know what? Hopefully a kicker goes in free agency. Let's see who's still on the board quick before the draft ends. I'll pause it for a sec. So Cade York may not get drafted. Let's watch. If Cade York doesn't get drafted, maybe he's a guy the Jets can pursue in UDFA. So let's take a look. Let's see if Cade York gets drafted. If Cade York doesn't get drafted, that's a guy Joe Douglas should go after as a UDFA and throw some money at him. Bring him onto the Jets. So let's see. So far, Cade York's still on the board. We're approaching the end. We're getting there. Little by little. Hey, so far, still Cade York. Still there. Okay, we're getting there little by little. And he's still there. And I don't think he was drafted. So the Jets get Cade York and UDFA. Let's just say that. The Jets are smart enough to offer Cade York a lot of money, bring him in, and now our kicking options are Eddie Pinheiro, I don't think I'm saying it right, Eddie Pinheiro and Cade York. That'll be an interesting kicking competition. But man, let's look at this draft for a second, guys. We walked away with Aiden Hutchinson, Sauce Gardner, Zion Johnson, Trey McBride, Christian Watson, Quay Walker, Jeremy Ruckert, Calvin Austin III, Smoke Monday, Colby Harvell-Peel, and Jelani Woods. Man, this is a quality draft. I don't know what's going on lately. We had this last draft I did. Again, maybe I'll just keep doing mocks because my mocks have been pretty damn impressive. That is another very, very quality mock draft. Very, very quality mock draft. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Take Flight Spit and Fire podcast. I'm going to take this mock and I'm going to post it on Twitter. So you're going to see it there. But man, this is an amazing mock. We got best edge rusher in the draft, best corner in the draft, one of the best interior offensive linemen in the draft, one of the best tight ends, a sleeper big wide receiver, a sleeper very fast linebacker, a tight end that's a local-born Long Island native guy, Calvin Austin III. You guys remember I talked all about him. Smoke Monday is a very good sleeper safety. So is Colby Harvell-Peel, and we all know who Jelani Woods is. So I think this was a very quality draft. I think we absolutely killed it. We got Harry W. saying nice. I agree, man. I think that was a nice draft. Vern saying 3 tight ends. Yeah, man. I've been saying it, and I think that's, again, the Joe Douglas direction is building through the draft. He could throw big money at Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz could potentially get franchise tag. There's a very good chance, especially with tight end injury history with the Cowboys, that they could franchise tag him. But that being said, that being said, I think the Jets could go the tight end route through the draft. And yeah, you walked away with Trey McBride, Jeremy Ruckert, and Jelani Woods. Man, that's a transformed tight end room. You just transform that tight end room in one draft. So this is exciting. This is a really, really quality draft. I think we killed it. I think we knocked it right out of the park, had an outstanding draft. Again, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys tuning in and taking part of the Take Flight Spit and Fire podcast. As you guys know, free agency starts soon. It's right around the corner. It's coming. Get ready. We'll see what the Jets do. Maybe they're going to make some noise. We'll talk about it next Monday. We'll talk a little more about it. So I appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you have a great, great rest of your week. Get ready for free agency. I'm excited. Can't wait. And I hope, and you guys take care. Have a great week, and let's go Jets.